We are unmuted.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh. How you doing, Kay and M Dun? I'm also surprised that, well, I don't usually see M Dun this early. Though then again, he's in Australian time, which is around afternoon by now.
I think Australia time is.
It's similar to
probably has
Japan.
multiple time zones, right? I was gonna say it's
It's
similar
like
to Japan,
3 or 4 different time zones. I think he's in like
Yeah.
Melbourne, which is on the left side.
Because the times that I would stream in my evening in Japan, I would typically get viewers from
George,
like
I haven't seen you in like
Oceania or East
forever.
Asia.
George, I haven't like where have you been? Isn't it like super early for you? Also, yeah, Carl how is it? It's 1:30 p.m. Yeah, so it's like it is about afternoon. Like I remember that because some of Australian mates I had.
Yeah, that's literally exactly the same time it is in Japan right now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like some Australian mates I had, and I still I haven't talked to in like forever. Are usually like around this time. Yeah.
I find that very entertaining that you said you're Australian mates. That's like very like it's fitting.
Well,
Your mates from Australia.
it makes sense. About to fly out Japan, so it's early. Oh, why are you flying out Japan? Are you like on a vacation or something? Been busy with school, so it's like 5:30. Jesus. Well, I hope school has been doing well for you. Also, yeah. Also, Emden, how's your shiny hunts are going? I keep popping in your streams after I've done streaming, and I keep seeing you like shiny hunt every single Pokemon in existence, man.
Man,
Are you-
shiny hunting takes a long time.
Well, are you trying to get like a living dex of every single Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet? Oh,
I did not realize the beach episode is paid DLC. Huh.
I'm sorry to hear that, Emden. Oh, there's Nuzlocking? Oh, yeah. Probably gonna do it. I want to do a Nuzlocking at some point again, but not anytime soon. That takes a lot of prep on my end to do. So, what are you gonna do for Nuzlocking? Are you gonna do Scarlet and Violet, or are you gonna do something like older, like Red and Blue or something? Vacation, yeah, family vacation. Dad has a conference there, so we're all going. Ooh, nice. Nice. I hope you enjoy Japan. I only visited Japan a few times in my life, and only most of them were like layovers. So, because I was going to Korea to meet family, so we always go to Japan and then Korea. So I never really stayed in Japan longer than one night. And that one time I stayed in Japan one night was kind of like unprecedented, because I was going back home from Japan to America, but the flight was full and only my dad and my brother left, and then I had to stick with my mom because I couldn't stay by myself, even though she could have gone and left me all by my lonesome self in Japan, but she didn't. Oh yeah, pretty much shiny living dex, so so I can use Pokemon Go. Oh, Yellow Legacy. Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah, Yellow Legacy. I was interested in looking up at some point. Japan will be fun. I mean, God, do you have any tips about going to Japan, or at least vacationing in Japan?
Yeah, I lived there, so I can confirm it was often fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it depends on where he's going.
Yeah, where do you have an idea of like an itinerary? Like, you know, like are you going to the bigger spots like Tokyo, Kyoto, or something like that, George? They have these portable Wi-Fi items.
What time of year did the fans go driving around to like?
Oh yeah, they're like, I mean, if you're in like a big city, they might be kind of everywhere, honestly.
Bullet Train, I do want to try. I do remember the Bullet Train movie that I actually heard is pretty good, and I want to watch that.
It is kind of interesting to me in a way that like the Shinkansen are kind of like a tourist attraction for like tourists from outside of Japan. They're so fascinated by it, but to me, it's like Shinkansen are basically what I would like take across the country like every other weekend. You know, it's like.
George is going to Osaka for a few days, then Tokyo, and
Yeah.
thinks some snow monkeys in between them too.
I love Osaka. I love Tokyo also.
Any
I've
tips
never
for them?
encountered snow monkeys.
Any tips or like places they should look at if they got the chance?
Touristy stuff. I mean,
The new Nintendo thing that's
No,
yeah,
they're
I guess
going
the
ne-
classics in Osaka. Well, that's Universal. Yeah.
and also the Nintendo Museum's not opening until October, and they're going now.
Universal Osaka, I guess, which I have never been to. I've been to the Kaiyukan Aquarium in Osaka. That's fun.
Mhm.
there
in
is
Osaka,
one
just
place
eat
I can
local
think of,
food.
because I know there's the Digimon museum thing that still going on.
Okay.
When it comes to really anything Digimon related, I keep track of it.
Anything else, Kyle?
In Osaka, the Pokemon Center in Osaka used to be super special, but then they started adding them like everywhere else in Japan. It was like a super novelty thing when I went in 2019, but then they opened up 2 Pokemon centers within like an hour and a half of where I lived. It's just hard for me to think of super touristy things because I lived in the country, you know?
Makes sense.
And then in Tokyo, obviously the classics for like, you know, people into games and anime and stuff would be Akihabara, obviously.
Yeah. M Dunn is saying learn the local
Shibuya.
train. Learn the local trains. It's true. They have a giant train system, so always learn them and don't be late if you can. Also, don't go during the packed times because those will.
Yeah.
Um,
You can, when it comes to trains, if you use Google Maps, you're fine. You just got to know what platform you need to go to and stuff. But the signs kind of point you to where to be. Other than occasionally having trouble in certain train stations, like trying to find the friggin' Shinkansen platform is super confusing in Tokyo Terminal.
since it's hard to pick up, but once you learn it, it's massive difference. Yeah, I'm so excited to take the train there. Yeah, it sounds really fun. I did Hiroshima. I would love to do like hikes in nature, but my brother has a broken leg. Ooh, maybe another time. Like George, they're always gonna be there. So maybe another time you can go there when hopefully your brother's leg is all fully healed and walk again.
Also, we'll just add, like Nick, you were saying, make sure to be on time for the trains. The funny thing is, like, if you're taking a Shinkansen, that's one thing, because those come less frequently or whatever, but taking the local trains in a bigger city, they come, like, every couple minutes. Like, you're pretty chill. Like,
Alright.
there was one time I was in Nagoya, and I was going somewhere with a friend I made at a concert, and, like, he got all, like, he looked all bummed when we're, like, walking toward the platform. He was like, oh, man, we missed the train. Now we gotta wait for like 5 minutes. And you could tell by the way I looked at him, he was like, he said something dumb, and he was like, you have to wait longer than 5 minutes for trains where you live, don't you? And I was like, yeah, like 45 minutes to an hour, dude.
I went to the Tokyo Dome for baseball. I used Pokemon Go for general navigations. You know what? That fair. That is very fair. Hope you got a lot of exclusive Pokemon there, because I know that Japan has maybe a couple Pokemon that are exclusive there. We have guidebooks with us too, so some maps are here. Hopefully we can get another time too. Yeah. Just take your time. Obviously, you can't visit everything within your first visit or this visit, and just enjoy it. Just hopefully you can plan out your next trip after this one, because it'll probably give you an insight, being like, oh, I want to go to this one, or I want to go to this one again because it's so much fun. Yeah. I always thought like a week was plenty of time to visit a lot of places that I would like to go, but no, a week is like barely anything now that I learned. How big is Carl? Your kid, right? Yeah, plus I'm only going for like a week, so it's not much, yeah. A month. Ooh, a month. Ooh. 21 months. I feel like it was just like a few months ago that I heard first about your kid. That's why I'm just like, 21 months is a lot longer than I anticipated, but geez. Yeah, they grow up so fast. Give it like another year or two, and then you can probably go with them. But then you have to deal with all the crying and clinging.
Wait, you're Carl's dad.
I also have, and then I also have a friend who is exactly the same spelling of Carl with a K. So it's I had to correlate. Your son is Carl. But yeah, a month in Japan is pretty long, but I think it's worth.
A very long time. Yeah.
Feels so young when people have kids. Oh, don't. I feel old when people around my age start having kids. Like they are married, they're already having like 5-year-olds, and I'm just like, Jesus.
Wife and kid.
My sister had kids when she was like 20.
Yeah, that's just really
Yeah.
young. Like, if you think about that, the people who had children that young, they're already like almost done with elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
All of my younger siblings have children. And like I'm around my 30s already. So that's got to say something.
Kid just wants
Yeah.
food, man. If only your kid can be like we have a couple of friends who are married that are also have like 2 kids, but they're the type of kids who go around running and screaming and demanding attention and only their things that they want to do. And I'm just like, Jesus, you lucked out in having a pretty chill kid who just wants food. Youngest in my class, I'm in a year above my age. Oh. Well, don't worry, George. You'll feel old relatively soon. You'll grow. Enjoy your youth. Like, even though you feel young now, enjoy your youth as much as you can. Because once you get into your 20s, you start realizing you're getting old really fast. Like, trust me. I think it's around like 24, around 23, 24. That's when you start feeling the old age. Not much. But when you start getting...
Is that right?
I would say so, because like 20, 21, 22, 23 is like when people were like, oh, I can drink, I can like do all this stuff, I'm on my own, independent, and all that stuff. And then 24 is when people start meeting them younger kids, whether they've been at the university or in the same
Sure,
workplace,
yeah.
and they'd be like, oh, now I'm starting to feel a little old.
I'd say it's more when you start seeing like super famous young actors or musicians or whatever who are younger than we are. That's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying youth, yeah.
Like I think maybe yeah, exactly. I was thinking that moment when like me and my friends saw like it was either an Avengers or Spider-Man movie in theaters, and we looked at Tom Holland and realized he was younger than us, and we were like, whoa.
Funny enough, I guess that without even having to second think.
I mean, Tom Holland is the big young actor right now.
Well, so is like some of the like the Dune cast or whatever, like Timothy Chalamet.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but Tom Holland is currently the forefront
Austin
of
Butler
it.
is older, but
I feel young. Oh, yeah. I enjoying youth, yeah. Being fun and carefree. When I see people winning the Olympics my age, yeah,
yeah, that too.
I've already seen that
The
too.
Olympics, it is pretty varied in terms of age, though. It depends on the sport. Like, I learned after they introduced Olympic skateboarding that apparently Japanese teen girls are really good at skateboarding.
Man, if
Some
they
of, like the women's gold Olympic medals for skateboarding have been won by Japanese girls who were like 15 or 16.
if they did skateboarding in the Olympics like 20 years ago, Tony Hawk would be winning that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I know he jokes always on internet, no one realizing that he is the Tony Hawk, but man.
Oh yeah, I've seen like funny like tweets of his that went viral where like, you know, you'd like be at like an airport or something and somebody like wouldn't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one
Yeah,
was
I
like,
think
there was
I wonder what Tony Hawk is up to. And he's like, that's me.
Oh, apparently there's an entire subreddit called Tony Hawk Tweets. That's really funny.
But yeah,
No.
enjoy what you can right now, George. Again, you're enjoying youth and enjoy it as much. But when you get older, then you could start doing the things that you want to do, slash be independent and do the things that you couldn't do when you were younger. So enjoy while you can.
Sort of. Drugs are not on that list.
Mike, you know, yes, but I'm being, like, okay.
What? I'm lost.
I'm just saying it's like, I'm obviously not saying do bad things, is all I'm saying. It's okay.
I was kind of poking, making a joke on that. But
Yeah, no, like, not now. Okay, it's really bad internet on the plane currently, so I gotta get going, but, good stream, I have back in a few hours. No worries, take care, George, and safe travels.
Germany, huh? Ooh.
Yeah, just, take care of yourself and, stay safe, alright? Hope, maybe catch you later, maybe in a few hours, who knows, I might be alive, might not be. Let's see.
Yeah, okay. So when I was talking about the Tony Hawk, he has a lot of tweet stories like this, I guess, but he has one saying, TSA agent checking my ID. Hawk, like that skateboarder Tony Hawk. Me, exactly. Cool, I wonder what he's up to these days. Me, this. And he just does a bunch of similar stories like that of people, like, checking his ID and being like, oh, last name Hawk, like that skateboarder, yeah. And he's like, yeah, exactly, yep.
Let's see. Oh, I have to reopen these. Why did it close? Did I? No, I swear I opened it before. Weird. Too bad we can't play Swartor right now because Will is actually at his sister's right now.
What's the plan? Do you have a game in mind?
No, I don't. I was actually just coming on to just chat as I usually do. Yeah. I figured I'm just gonna either play single player. Oh, Max, what's up? Or I can just drag Max into something. Nah, he just dropped in to chill. But how you doing, Max? What's up? How's your Saturday going so far? I just chilling with some chats. I was planning on playing maybe like either Great Ace Attorney or Secret of Mana, because I have those are the only two single player games I have currently going on that I can do right now. Or I can just do like Digimon Cyber Sleuth, something like the new request. Debating on that. Doing right now. Ooh, jeez. Sorry, dude. Dude, I hate having some bad food. Though I don't think I have had that many bad foods in my life. I had a couple life-threatening ones. Both, unfortunately, were my mom's cooking. But hey, I hope you feel better.
What? I was gonna start jokingly naming things for your backlogger with fortune cookie, but since they updated the backlogger layout, I can't even find where the fortune cookie feature is. I hope they didn't remove it.
No, they didn't. I remember seeing it before.
Yeah.
I think it no, not multi-map.
That's kind of annoying that they just completely overhauled the.
Oh,
navigation
backlog roulette. If you go onto the main page of the person's backlog and just backlog roulette, then it's that.
Oh, they renamed it. Why would they bother renaming it?
Duh.
For all the. That's just. Man. Okay, now I can find yours. All right, let's roll.
But yeah, Max. Hope you feel better, dude.
Oh, they can give you as many. They give you a list of games. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How about I just narrow that down to one? Dude, why don't you play The Last Blade from Amazon Gaming?
Nah. Oh.
How about Pokemon Blue for Game Boy Color?
Technically, I can do that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my. Well, I do have a copy of Pokemon Blue, but it has a dead save battery.
Same here. But
Red and yellow in Japanese have working things though.
actually, if I
Putt joins the parade. I think I did stream that one.
I think you did. If I actually get maybe a session up, maybe I could get some of the Elf fighters together, Max, and maybe we can play Sparking Zero when it comes out. I need to double check to see who heck is gonna get it though on day one. I also don't know if Sparking.
Unfortunately, not me.
I don't know who is gonna be getting it. Pre-order Nord version, no worries. I'm still gonna try to get like the deluxe at least, cause it just looks some of the stuff I want to get. I usually just like to get the season pass along with it. I mean, when I played it, it was okay, but again, the controls were slightly unintuitive at the time.
Nick, you must know this tune all too well.
What, the Traverse Town?
Yeah, I wasn't there for the Kingdom Hearts stream, but I know it was a thing he got made fun of for a while. They got lost in Traverse Town for a really long time.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was something that I remember, like, this is back in, like, 2019 or whatever, so it was years ago, but, like, Justin made fun of you, and I think made a stream highlight, because it took you a really long time to find, like, a certain area of the town and talk to somebody.
Yeah, it's sometimes the old games, because just like the old games, they don't always have, like, the direction of some things.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 was like that. It was hard to navigate some levels, I remember.
And some of them, Traverse Town was kind of samey looking. Like, unless you know it pretty well, it can be very confusing. And I remember just watching Kingdom Hearts, like a playthrough of it, one and 2, a long time ago.
And you can't skip cutscenes for PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. At least original, yeah.
All too well.
Yeah, original Kingdom Hearts, you cannot skip cutscenes. But in the remaster re-releases, they can.
That feels inauthentic to me though, man. You gotta suffer through repeated cutscenes of boss battles. That's how to play Kingdom Hearts.
Tell that to Max. He skips all the cutscenes when he's doing like the critical one playthrough.
It's like in the same way that Pokemon anime, especially Indigo League, has to be watched on VHS for the authentic experience. You know, like playing Kingdom Hearts on any re-release that has skippable cutscenes. It's like it's not the real deal to me.
Hey, I mean, what's wrong with watching cassettes?
Nothing.
Just rewinding.
I know a friend that still has like 3 VCRs.
The point I was making was that the way to watch Pokemon is on VHS, that it's like the authentic medium. What? Nick, on itch.io you apparently have a game called Seduce Me, the complete story. Sounds like one of many raunchy games in those itch.io bundles.
I'm actually just curious about that. I'm gonna pull up my itch. I have to do a lot of like itch updates and stuff like that. Again, I haven't been doing that a lot, but
I haven't even logged into my itch account in a long time, I think.
Let me see if I remember my old password again.
Oh, and James has a GIF for that. Yeah, that makes me want to log into itch as well. What did I? Oh, whoops.
I always seduce you.
Need to call Copilot.
Pretty sure this is my email that I use.
Oh my god. It's just telling me, oh, like you should rate these games that you played, and it's like games that I played in like 2021.
I mean,
One of these, this is a game that No Pineapple Left Behind. I considered playing that. I think I even went as far as downloading the file of it, but I never played that one.
Oh, hey, Alberto. Yeah, I did see it a bit ago. I'm a bit upset that past one. Too many tryhards on that team. Like, it was very, very, very clear. But I was doing like the quick calculations in my head. If we won the normal one and we were like 0.05 or something away, we could have won the entire thing.
Uno for Nintendo Switch. Nick, you quote, haven't played all the decks except for the base set and online, unquote. That's your progress note.
I usually put progress notes on all of them.
Yeah.
If I at least touched them. If I never did, then I never did.
Pokemon Y. Played the very beginning. This is my brother's copy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is a Seduce Me visual novel. Doesn't look that great though.
Okami HD. I want to play that.
Okami just turned 18.
Oh my god, that's insane. Oh my god, that's crazy. My dad bought that game in like 2008 for PlayStation 2, which I have that copy still. That's crazy. Oh my god. That game's an adult, dude. That game can vote.
That adult is legal. Nah, I haven't logged into my itch in like 3 years. Gonna DM you a little.
I've probably logged into it more recently than I think I have. It's just first time on the new computer, but Final Fantasy VI for SNES Classic. May have seen some of the game when I was a child, is your progress note.
Honestly, I don't know if I did. It probably was one of those. Final Fantasy VI. Oh, it's on SNES Classic. That's the Final Fantasy 3 American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually might have seen it when I was like looking at some of the earlier cutscenes.
Alright, let's say Nick plays 3 games in his stream. Let's draw the 3 games he's gonna play. First, he's gonna start with Cluster Truck.
I did.
Pokemon Snap, and then James Bond 007 Bloodstone.
I do.
Games that you've played a bit.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap. I did. Wait, is it new Pokemon Snap or just Pokemon Snap?
The OG for N64.
Okay, I did play that just a tiny bit. Cluster Truck, I did.
You said you played the beach level and watched a whole playthrough of the game.
Yep.
That's what you said about it.
I did do Cluster Truck. I did try to do it on stream, but that was during like the early days when I had my original laptop, and it was a slog. But I know that audiences can play around with the streamer, but it couldn't get quite to work, so I gave up on it really quickly.
Your review of the James Bond game was, played a bit of this game, seems like a fun James Bond game.
Yeah, the Bloodstone, that one actually looks genuinely fun. I think it was the main criticism that it's too similar to Splinter Cell at the time.
Ajiro going through games Beyond Good and Evil. I played that game a bit when I was a kid, and I think encountered a game-breaking glitch or something. But I've seen that game recently at the game store for like $20 for PS2, and I'm like, oh,
which one?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh. Yeah, no, I...
That was like a really like underlooked game at the time it came out. It's like a cult classic.
I just pulled Brutal Legends on the PS3. I can never stream that game, unfortunately.
I loved that game. Yeah, I've said the same thing myself. I really love that game, but like a large part of the experience is playing copyrighted music from the soundtrack. So,
like, yeah, because like
you could stream it, but it wouldn't have sound when you highlight it. Like it would get flagged as soon as the stream is done.
Yeah, pretty much the stream itself is gonna be like silent for the most part.
Yeah.
And or it's like it's either I play the game and I know exactly when to unmute it, which is extremely difficult, and I'll have to spoil myself for a lot of it. Or I record it and then just mute everything outside of my commentary, and then just like, again, it's one of those like I can never stream it, but if I ever record it, then I have ways to get around with it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just too much of a hassle. I wish I could.
High effort for sure.
Yeah, I wish I could, because I do want to genuinely try to record my reactions, but it's maybe just one of those games I just play on my own.
Like, I partly say I'd love to like watch that, but then I also feel like in the same way as with Psychonauts, who would like get frustrated at certain aspects of the game and then complain about it. I'd be in my mood where I'm like, Nick, stop complaining about a game I love.
It's just Psychonauts just had
Game's nostalgic, man. No complain.
the first game, just Psychonauts just did not age well. That's all I say. I honestly just, the humor's not my thing as well, personally.
You were playing that on a PlayStation
4
or something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that was the patched version, but you know, when I played the game for the first time, I was playing the original Xbox version that didn't have any like updates to it, and it was the OG extremely frustrating and unbalanced version of the final level of the game.
I'm pretty sure I got the
which got
patched
complained
version.
about so much that the company patched it and made it easier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the patched version, because I would be more surprised if they didn't patch it and re-released it. I mean, what we could...
I drew Sonic 06 in your Fortune Cookie.
That is not being streamed. That is for sure being recorded.
Oh, I am well aware.
I got confirmation from Sean. He is willing to do it, and because of that, I just need to find an editor willing to do all that, and we're playing that game all the way from start to finish.
Does that include like the editor's got to cut out the the load times and such, or
make jokes about the load times and being like, "Hey, editor, put in all the load times for this episode," and he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, because that was the thing in like the very OG Sonic 06 playthrough, like the Something Awful one that's on YouTube. It was like a group of college friends who like played the whole game in one sitting, but they actually made it a thing in their forum posts about the game where they added up the total amount of time spent in their playthrough and loading screens, and it was like genuinely like hours of the playthrough videos were spent in loading screens.
I would literally make jokes of like going to the bathroom in the middle. It was being like, okay, this is gonna be a 20-second, 30-second one. I can go to the bathroom in a second.
I remember the load screens for the first like version of Skyrim, the one that came out on the 360. Like the load screens were like so long. I would just be like, get up and go find like anything else to do every time I went through a door.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? Have you seen the video of? I told this on stream, but I don't know. Have you seen the video of the guy actually playing the actual day window release of Skyrim, like all like bugs and glitches, and tried to complete the main story without
Oh no.
like he tried to do it all, and every time there's a single glitch, he would lose like 5 HP. And he got to a point where he literally could not progress the game any further because the developers somehow made a mistake at a very crucial main quest line where a person that you're supposed to talk to is underneath the map. So it was impossible for him to complete. So he's just like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm giving up.
Oh no.
I found it funny, honestly.
I don't think my copy of Skyrim was ever patched because like I didn't have internet, so
you should totally play it, James.
but I don't remember anything super bizarre happening. Like maybe you'd see someone like sitting on something that was not a stool, you know? Or just things that aren't really game breaking, but are just kind of like, okay, that's true.
Only have 20,000 channel points. Could take me quite a while to get to 100k again.
Yeah, I have Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I still need to start.
Is that one requested by Michael?
No, Luigi. There is Digimon Cyber Sleuth. And then next up is technically James with BioShock, which I can technically start right
Ooh.
now. I have like a lot of
That's actually a
open.
game I'm interested in. I played a tiny bit of it a long time ago, but I do have it on Steam.
I mean, I can start it right now. Digimon Cyber Sleuth and BioShock is like the next two games I would start because like the only couple ones I have obviously are Pico Park, which I do want to finish. I just need to get Jamie and Chris back on. Overcooked 2, which Jamie should be on. And then there's just SWTOR, which James and Will and I are still progressing. And then there's Dragon Warrior Monsters, which is also slow on progressing. But everything else is like I have quite a bit of open spots now. I can do some juggling.
I picked Bioshock because it was like, and like if you just kind of like go for it, like just straight like for the main like we don't daily down.
For real?
8 hours.
For real?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Was
At least by modern standards. Like games nowadays, it's like campaigns are like 60 hours or so.
Yeah, I was making a Persona 5 joke, and I was hoping Kyle would react to it.
The what? Sorry.
I was making a for real joke.
Oh, for real? You probably had to say it with a more convincing voice.
For real?
Get it? For real?
For real?
Logical.
But yeah, like a lot of the other games that I noticed that other people had requested are like RPGs that are like would take months to finish. So.
Yeah, because right after you is technically Emoto's, would be Tak and the Power of Juju, which is a short game. It's
I
a
remember
weird.
commercials for that game growing up.
Yeah, and because you and Emoto's are the only ones that's short, then there's Luigi, who's the Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
And me with Kingdom Hearts too.
Yeah, and then Queen with Octopath Traveler. And then
Well, I watched someone play like bits of Octopath. That game is long.
yeah,
Very
that's why I'm not gonna start it for a while. I don't even think I'm gonna start it until after this year. Yeah, I did Sonic Heroes, which was Mike's long requested game. Yeah, there's like quite a bit like of RPGs, so I mean, right now I could just start BioShock if you want me to, James.
Sure.
What the heck?
BioShock's a good series. Just don't get Infinite.
Why? Infinite was like
pretty terrible.
no, it
depends
wasn't.
on what you want out of the game.
In
because,
my
like,
preference,
Yeah, but that's your preference. That's I did see all of Infinite, and I actually enjoyed the story.
Yeah, because I think some people like for people who do have like a criticism for it, I think the most common criticism was that like the tonal shift or like the atmosphere was just kind of such a stark contrast to what BioShock was before it.
Pretty much.
yeah. That was my main gripe with it. I didn't really like the whole skyhook thing too. I felt like it really didn't fit.
Well, it tried doing something different for the series. That's what it did. Because if you keep doing something samey for the series, it will start treading too much similar grounds, and that's a big criticism for a lot of people.
Yeah, but you get rid of continuity in the process.
That depends if the creators want to have continuity. And in the sense for that one, they did do continuity. It's just a different, it's just, in a sense, it's in the past.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Again,
I guess you could say it's more of kind of a prequel.
that's why it's like, if you are saying continuity and stuff like that, it really heavily depends on your perception. If you don't like the continuity, then there's aspects of like why you don't like it. But if it still fits within the lore, then it's just more of like your personal preference. But if it actually retcons or destroys a lot of different things, then yes, it can be a ruining thing. But from what I've seen all of it, including the DLC. it doesn't ruin, at least from what I have been introduced. I haven't seen all of Bioshock 1 or 2, but it doesn't ruin anything in the terms of continuity in what I've seen. Despite the result, I still had a great time present. We got 3 times hundreds and won 2 of them. Nice. Yeah, I still had some fun playing regular Splatoon anyway. I just wish it was more evened out with points, because it's, again, this is one of my wishes for Splatoon 4. They fix the point systems, because they still haven't got down the essence of the point system. Because if it's like, oh, if it's just the people who are just really good all be in one team, then it ruins the entire thing. Also, if it's the least popular one, it ruins the entire thing. It's heavily all about, like, need to find a good balance.
Like, I love the whole look of the first and second. The second one by far was my favorite. Like, I really enjoyed the story for the second. What was I? There's something. I don't remember what I was gonna do. Something. Tried. What was it? God dang it! Now I have no idea what I was gonna do. And man, I should have just kept that brain. Kind of kicking myself in the rear end. I've just been playing a bunch of No Man's Sky.
I just realized I also need to, my Xbox apparently doesn't update itself like it should. And then I need to also download Bioshock, because getting the space nowadays of like so many different games are just like eating up gigabytes of stuff. I think companies really should learn how to like not use so much space just because they can.
I thought they would try to be pushing people to upgrade their stuff, if anything.
Yes, but not everyone has like money to do that, and space, or even have the capacity to do that. Anything requiring more space would end up costing someone at least $100, depending on what kind of size they're trying to upgrade to. I like how when I check to see what's the new and trending games of this on Steam, I see like To the Moon, Beach Episode, and then like some newly released games like Frostpunk 2 and stuff. And then I see it surrounded by like 5 different horny games. It's like Steam library is as bad as like Nintendo's eShop.
To the Moon Beach episode. Overwhelmingly positive with almost 600 reviews.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be good then. My money's worth. I didn't realize, I just hadn't like wishlisted the game or anything, so I didn't realize it was a paid separate game. rather than a To the Moon DLC.
Are you one of those people
Which
that
is
ask?
fair. I mean, it's more like a full-length game than the minisodes were.
Are you asking for not a free game?
I just thought it would be, dude. And then I was like, wait, did I get any perks to get this game for free for backing the handheld game? Or the tabletop game? And then I checked on Kickstarter and I was like, oh, I totally didn't. Okay, I guess I gotta pay up.
Dude, Kyle, do you have like an operating at minimum? Do you have an operating system that is at least XP or more?
Dude, I'm gonna play this game on my calculator, man.
Oh, dude, does that calculator have an
When I was in high
Intel
school, there was a
Pentium?
guy in my math class junior year of high school, there was a guy who put Tetris on his calculator. On
Yeah.
his graphing calculator, so he'd totally be playing it and hoping the teacher wouldn't notice.
Yeah, I still wanted to get Crystal on my Nspire. There's Intel Pentium 3 800 megahertz plus, which I have no idea what processor that is. You additional notes. Practically runs on a potato.
Oh,
Luckily, Bioshock. I have Bioshock remastered, which I don't know if it changes anything personally.
remastered. Is that all three? Isn't that all three of them, or just?
Or there was a bundle where there's each
Yeah.
of the games were remastered.
I do have the collection. I have Bioshock
Okay,
1 and 2.
Collection one that I was thinking about.
I do have 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure I have Infinite somewhere, but I don't think I have it on my Xbox library.
I think I have it.
Oh, no, I see it. I have my Xbox. It's a complete edition. So yeah, it's on everything.
Because I think for me, I have it on. Sure. No, I have Bioshock 2 remastered. And Bioshock 2. I at least got those ones because, well, Bioshock 2 is my favorite.
That's what I hear a lot of people say. Like Bioshock 2 is like the pinnacle of Bioshock, but a lot of people argue still that Bioshock Infinite is still pretty good.
I guess I'll be a hipster and be like, Bioshock 1 is my favorite then, before it became cool. I haven't played any of them in full.
Would you say the next Bioshock game is your favorite then? The one that has never been released?
Bioshock Platinum.
Yeah.
Bioshock. I mean, not knowing anything about the games, like, what would I call the fourth one in the series?
Bioshock Indefinite.
Bioshock Episode 4, A New Bioshock.
A new shock.
Bioshock 4 Salvation.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
I still defend Terminator Salvation as being like it has a lot of,
Right.
it had a lot of good ideas. Some of the acting is a little clunky and the scripting was just off here and there.
It started out not very good, but it got better.
Yeah, I think it if it continued, I would definitely watch sequel if it continued. Like it's definitely one of those like I like the setting up and the ideas they had. It just and the sound. I definitely say the sound of the robots are actually pretty satisfying and menacing. Like I think.
I mean, obviously, the biggest black sheep moment of the whole movie is that Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't in it. Like, that's the biggest beef people are gonna have with the movie.
You just had to go there with a David Spade joke.
What?
What?
Wait, have you not seen the film Black Sheep?
No, black
I
sheep is
didn't-
a phrase that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah, like Schwarzenegger's too busy being governor of California, so he couldn't be in a movie. Dude,
Yeah.
should have taken a vacation to go film Terminator.
Let's say
What do you
just
mean you gotta
see-
sign this, dude? No, you don't. We gotta be in a movie.
Kind of
Yeah, you
wondering if he was like, how much they were trying to like try to get him to get paid to do a movie while trying to be governor too.
It would unfortunately backlash him in a lot of ways because not only
I'm not
is
sure if there's any sort of conflict of interest rules about that sort of thing.
Well,
Probably not, because
it's
they're
not-
rich governors who
yeah,
have businesses.
I mean, it's more of like if because filming takes a lot of time, and you need to do it like a tight schedule, and it would require just like getting everything set up both on makeup and everything, so it could take like a day or two, depending on how short the scenes are. And if they were just doing for a short cameo or just a short appearance, but even then, it's like he takes time out of the day just to do governing out of governing, which people consider the more important issue, and then just
And for a,
yeah.
It's like a cameo would be one thing, but if you're supposed to be like the starring role in the movie, that would involve weeks of your time not doing your
Yep.
job in office. So
Yep.
that's a no.
Yeah, huge no.
They could have made some funny, like, out of place cameo. Imagine in, like, what was otherwise kind of a serious movie, is Darnold showing up and being like, I have to go back to the state of California, or something like that, and then, like, that's his, like, cameo, like, his one line in the movie, and then he goes back to
I
being
think
out of the movie.
I think like if they were to do it like if they had today's technology back then when he was a governor, there is a possibility now because like in Spider-Man No Way Home, they got the Sandman actor to reprise his role, but because he couldn't for some reason show up physically for pretty much the majority, like all of the movie, they only at the very end reused some of his scenes from the third movie. But they got him to voice his character and then just remained as a sand person for the entire movie, which always bothered me. But same thing with the lizard. So it's pretty much like if they had that technology, I think they would have just gone that route of like a CG or body double of him and just voiced it over. They could have done that, but I don't know if it would still been smart.
I mean, that's true.
Bum, bum, bum. Bioshock abs.
Yeah. I'm going around with my roamer right now on the planet.
I did a backlog roulette of Kyle, and I see first thing I comes up with is Guitar Hero Aerosmith. Played it a lot back when I had a 360.
Yeah, it's like I haven't had that. It's funny because we were doing that like back when we first made our or when I first made my backlogger account. I was logging games because we're mostly doing it for retrobound purposes to keep track of any game we had played.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in there games that I haven't had or played in a long time. So I haven't even played that game since like 2008, and it's in my backlogger.
Yeah, you added it since 2019. Yeah.
I don't know if I even physically have that game anywhere in this house anymore. I think we kind of just decided to thrift all the Xbox 360 games, you know, because
Makes sense.
don't need them.
Rockman.
Funny, though. That was a jamming game though. That had a lot of good music in it.
Night of the Consumers. I remember you actually streaming that game a little bit.
That was, yeah, I did stream that game and it was fun at first, but then it like I remember trying to beat the game and I just like the game glitched out and caused me to lose, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. That's
true.
It was more of a fun game in theory than in practice.
Mm-hmm. Rockman.exe 3 white. Japanese copy of Mega Man Battle Network 3 white.
I have yet to play that one. So far I've only played Battle Network 1 Japanese. I do want to play the others though. I might translate.
True. And then
finish.
Do you still have your Wii copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2?
Yeah, I never played that one.
Weird.
That's one that I bought from the store last year that I have not gotten to play yet, but I have never played Galaxy 2. I only own it as of last year.
Oh, weird. I never thought.
I still have my Wii copy of Galaxy 1 though.
That's true.
But yeah, although I cannot play my Wii at the moment, I since last year have bought Galaxy 2 and Super Paper Mario.
Which is good.
Actually, I guess Galaxy 2. Yeah, would that have been last year? Probably. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Fallout New Vegas I see is in your backloggery, and it's like
Yeah,
I
I would like to play that game, but the Fallout games are too glitchy on Steam. So they're not even like playable.
I have it on Xbox. I bought it because on the Xbox 360 because it's one of the only Xbox 360 like one of the Xbox 360 games that people say like, "Oh, you have to have it on your Xbox 360" because I was getting it before the marketplace fully shut down.
Yeah, it's the issue is that, and I bought Vegas for only like $1 or whatever at a Steam sale anyway, but I wouldn't be curious about getting into the Fallout games, including 3 and New Vegas, but the problem with them is that I've seen on forums and stuff, and they're just like not stable on newer operating systems. Like they have
Uh,
major issues with that. Like fans who are sufficient with software and stuff have tried to like find ways to make them compatible, and games just do not work functionally.
That's why you have James. He's the genius expert of it.
Oh, I'm not a tech wizard at all.
You played all Fallout games. Anyway, you can talk with Kyle while I go to the bathroom. So while this thing is installed,
Well,
so yeah, go.
I did play 3, but I played that on the 360, so that would have been a different version.
I did play a bit of 3, like back on Windows 8 software in like 2013 when I was a freshman in college, and even on that operating system, whereas like one operating system removed from what it was developed for, I had to do a couple fixes based on people's suggestions on Steam, and even then the game would crash pretty regularly. Like it's pretty crazy how unstable those Bethesda games are.
Yeah, a lot of games that were designed exclusively for consoles and then ported to PC as an afterthought are just generally not great.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a bummer because I don't have a console that would be able to play like that, like those Fallout games or like the old school Elder Scrolls
I have
games,
my
that sort of stuff.
360. I still have like my 360 and my like original copy of like Game of the Year edition of Fallout 3. So, plus I haven't actually. I think it's been a few years since I've actually played anything on it. But I think as far as I can tell, like the 360 version of Fallout 3 works fine. Like I don't remember it ever freezing.
Yeah, my dad played it around the time it came out. I don't remember that one having problems on the actual console.
I played New Vegas, but that was the Steam version that I played, and it does crash. Like it probably crashed about at least once an hour.
Yeah, which is insane. Like that's like unacceptable, dude. Like it should get so many negative Steam reviews off that. It would get overwhelmingly negative.
Yeah, it seemed like it. Although I think more of the crashes were like when the save like the longer I'd been playing, and I think I remember reading somewhere that like other people like would notice that like the older their save file is, the more it crashes for some reason. I don't know why that is. But yeah, I was kind of going around. I was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna try and like do at least every major quest or like every like non-generic like because like some games actually I don't know if did New Vegas have because I think Fallout 4 has just like certain quests that just keep going, or like randomly like they call like the Radiant quests or something. I don't know. Basically, they're just kind of generic, repeatable quests. I don't think New Vegas had that, but I think I tried to do everything in the game. But like eventually, I was just like, I think I've had my share of crashes. I'm gonna move on. But it is an interesting like universe, I guess. Like it might the gunplay is pretty like I guess gameplay wise it's pretty basic, but like it's at
I
least
would be more
entertaining.
interested in playing it like the vibe of like the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout appeals to me more personally than something like Skyrim does. So I
Oh
have
yeah.
played on kind of a sort of related but not entirely the same thing. The Mass Effect games to me, I played the first 2 and I was like, I personally am not a huge fan of those. Like I played all the way through the story of the first 2, and the way that like say story decisions that you make affect the entire story, like even going to the sequels, that's a really cool thing. But the gameplay to me of the Mass Effect games is just not very interesting at all.
Yeah,
I
it's
also
like
was really silly and I made a ridiculous looking character with like crazy facial features and a handlebar mustache that stayed with me through both of the games that I played. That
I
was
played
fun.
Mass Effect 1, and like I thought it was cool how they put so much thought into like the lore and stuff and like the world.
Yeah.
Um, but the environments were definitely very bland, I feel like for me.
They're not very interactive, right? Like
Yeah, like
they're just kind of there.
um, you just kind of run through, you maybe click on a thing and it gives you like a little blurb like this thing is a thing and you're like, cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Yeah, we pretty much have exactly the same view on those games.
Um, but I think I remember one thing that also kind of bugged me. Like I was kind of doing some of the side quests, and I was like, kind of like I just kind of wanted to, see more of the world. Um, but like the planets of like, unless it's like a major quest planet, like the other like extra planets are just like completely devoid of like any notable features.
Yeah.
And then you'd like, oh, it's like, oh, here's a quest. So there's some bandits holed up or whatever, and then or some mercenaries or something, and like you go in and it's like, I've seen this before, and I remember, and I'm like, this is the exact building, like from wall to wall is exactly the same on like several different planets. And I'm like, God, I'm like they couldn't like just change it up like just a little bit. um,
I mean, are they required to?
No, but like I mean, for something that was kind of pitched to me as like one of the best sci-fi games of all time, I was a
It's a
little
very, very acclaimed series. People love those games.
yeah,
Mass
like,
Effect
every time.
games?
Yeah, people love them, dude.
Yeah,
For whatever,
I-
some people love the story and the lore, some people love the gameplay, I guess some people just like getting it on with aliens, Had to bring that into it, but...
oh yeah, I mean that's definitely a lot of the
don't think I
memes.
want to know, thank you.
Um,
Plus, I guess when you think about it, like, character customization created games were... There were already other games like that when it came out, but I can see in 2008 how that would have been a very, like... I don't know if I want to say revolutionary, but, like, it would have been, like, a novel kind of game when it first came out. And again, especially the idea with the sequels that story decisions you make in the first game can affect like how the second game even begins and plays out. That is a really interesting concept of the interconnectivity between the games. That's really smart.
but it's like, well, you have to be able to get your hands on the 3 separate games, which it's easier when they um, package them in the Legendary Edition. But like before that, it's like if you just had one or more of like just a random one in the series, it's just that was just kind of not a really
Yeah.
feature you ever really interaction with. But the end of the first one, though, that one was like there was like one particular moment where they actually make a choice, and then the consequence of that decision, I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. I think there is a thing in the first Mass Effect game where, like, you have the option of straight up killing a character and having him removed from the story, and like, I kind of did that as like a joke, and then I was like, oh my god, whoops. Because I think now I remember, I think when I was playing Mass Effect 1, like, I was memeing my way through the game, so I had like my handlebar mustache character, and I went full renegade and was just like a complete douchebag throughout the entire game. Which involved doing things like literally killing characters and removing them from the story. And then I think I like backpedaled and did only like absolute nice guy route like through the second game. I think that's how I did it.
And I guess like I finished the first one, and then I got like I played about 10 hours of the second one, and I was just not really digging it because like in the first one you have some characters that are like kind of um maybe they have like I guess one guy who's kind of forgettable. Um I think Garrus is like the only person in the Mass Effect series that I don't think is an insufferable nuisance. At least to me.
Yeah. I know that the third game in the series was like, I think a game came out in like 2012 or something, or 2011, and that's the time when just like gaming culture on the internet was just like getting worse and worse, and like social media was big. So like the third game had an ending that was controversial, and people got so pissy about it on the internet that the studio just like made a better ending as DLC to appease the fan base. And I'm like, you guys shouldn't have like given into the entitlement of your players. You should have just, been like, whatever, this is our game, deal with it. But instead they like apologized and made a different ending for the game.
I'll be back.
Hold
Nick is
on.
back.
Yes, I can see his face.
You can finally see the game is finally loaded,
Alright,
so there's
Nick,
that.
while you were pooping, we complain about Mass Effect.
I thought you guys were doing like Fallout. When did it turn to Mass Effect?
Well, we were just talking about those kinds of Western RPG type games.
Ah.
We got to Mass Effect, and James and I both concur that Mass Effect we're not fans of that franchise.
Oh, what do you say? I actually kind of like Mass Effect 2.
Oh well, we disagree.
Get fucked.
I guess I just didn't really
Okay,
connect-
well, sheesh. Oh, is that somebody just redeeming a sound effect with perfect
Oh
timing?
yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
I don't
Yeah, I
remember
didn't really
disagree
connect
about Mass
with
Effect. Get fucked.
Oh,
Mm.
never-
I guess
That's right.
Sakura is a huge Mass Effect fan.
yeah.
Actually,
I think
she is kind of a Mass Effect fan, actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really connect with Shepard the way because I feel like Mass Effect it was probably really popular at a time where a lot of people playing it were like grew up at a very impressionable age, so they could just kind of imprint themselves on Shepard.
That's also true.
So like playing it at like in my late 20s, I was just not really in that mindset.
I was in my late teens when I played the game.
I was in my late teens too, so I actually enjoyed Mass Effect 2. So
I have never personally had a handlebar mustache, so I cannot exactly relate to the meme Shepard that I made for my playthrough of the first two games.
Mhm.
at least I'll say Mass Effect 2 I did enjoy. I have yet to play Mass Effect 1, but when I was playing Mass Effect 1, I got really bored by it. And it's also a bit more clunky than I remember Mass Effect 2, but then again, I was playing 1 like 10 years later since I played Mass Effect 2, so
Mm.